Hello everyone, Carlos Flores, back on basics. Before we begin this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so you can get notified of any new video that comes on board. If you have a topic, a comment, a question, or just a suggestion, put it in the comment section and I'll be happy to reply to you, and give you my take on the topic or the question that you have. If for some reason you want to connect with me on other social network outlets, you can do so. I know that sometimes some of the questions or some of the comments are private, so you can connect with me on Facebook by searching Carlos Flores Jr. and my face. You'll see my face with my beard. So if you want to connect with me on Instagram or X, both of them, you can type at Back on Basics. If you want to connect with me now on WhatsApp, you can actually search for me and type at Back on Basics 9985. So there's many ways that you can connect with me, and I'll be happy to give you my take or kind of course correct, whatever topic you want to talk about. So today's topic is this. Sometimes we can't sleep, right? In medical terms, it's called insomnia. And so insomnia or having or not being able to sleep can be due to a lot of different things. And so some of them may be because we're overstimulating ourselves. It's like we do something that keeps our mind super focused. I mean, I'm telling you, super focused. It's beyond. I mean, it's good to have it focused, right? But when you're getting ready to go to bed, then your mind needs to start slowing it down, bring it down a little bit, right? And get to the point where you're getting ready for bed. So the first thing that I want to talk about is this. Create a routine. Create a time that you usually go to bed. And what I mean about routine is this, right? If you set a time and you keep to that time in general, it doesn't have to be exact right away, but right around that time, then your mind will be not stimulated as much as before because of the habit of going to bed right around the time that you set every single day, then your mind will start slowing down, will start getting for sleep. It will know, right? Or you will know because it's almost time. I mean, it's one of those things that you have to initiate the slowdown of the mind. The body usually follows the mind, or the other way around, right? The mind sometimes follows the body. When you're exercising, that's when this gets so focused. To me, actually, and that's for me. But also, the mind also follows the body, and so when you're starting to wind down because it's time to go to bed, again, if you do certain routines that happen every night, then it'll help you not sleep. It'll help you to sleep. So for example, one of the things that you can do is, again, set a time. So when it gets close to it, right, half an hour before, 15 minutes before, then you can actually start slowing things down, turning off the TV, turning off, maybe putting some soft music on so that way you can listen. Not the ones that you'll be dancing all the time, but just soft music. You can also put sounds of nature. I do have videos on sounds of nature that you can actually put them on so that way you can hear like the waves and the waterfalls and all those things. Those are towards the beginning of my videos, and so you can search for those. I will be, because I'm at a little bit over 270 videos, I will start putting them in different categories so that way you'll find them easier. because it is a lot of videos already. And it is a lot of shorts. It's over 400 shorts. So I'll make sure that those are in different categories so that way it's easier for you to find. Another thing that you can do in terms of building habit is, remember, I told you I recommend it for you. Drink a glass of water. Doesn't have to be cold. Whatever temperature you enjoy, drink a glass of water. What it does is it cleanses you throughout the night, right? Because you're getting rid of the impurities that your body has. So another thing that you can do as well, you do it, right? Most of you do it. Brush your teeth. That says to your mind, your body's telling your mind, oh, I'm not eating anymore because I'm brushing my teeth. And so that begins also a countdown to like, okay, I'm not eating anymore, right? I have this soothing sounds or very, very soft music. I'm already, 20, 30, 15 minutes away from when I usually go to sleep. Believe me, creating a habit that you do every day will help you a great deal. I'm bad at it because sometimes, sometimes I do activities all the way to like the last minute, and so I am going to start doing what I'm telling you because it does work. Even when you do one thing, like brushing your teeth, it's like, oh, I'm not eating anymore. Oh, it's time to go to sleep. I mean, your mind is shuffling through why are the actions happening at that moment. And so, again, right, that can reduce insomnia. That can, you don't want to have, you don't want to be awake. You want to have a good rest, a good restful night, because the next day you're up and going again, right? You either have to go to work or you have to go to school or you have to do an activity around the house. It all depends on what day, you're up to it. And if it's hot, then that's another thing. I mean, you can turn on your AC, you can turn it down lower. You can turn on the fans. Remember, there's ways that you can turn those fans. There's a switch, and I think almost all the fans where one switch is for winter time where it spins a certain way, so that way the hot air on top comes down and warms up the house a little bit more. And then in the summer you switch it to the other side, and what it does is it actually brings the hot air that's sitting here, it just brings it up and then it brings it out. So again, different ways of dealing with things, and that can help you sleep. Insomnia is lack of sleep, and there's a lot of things that you need to do, like slow down your mind. And remember, I've said this before, the things that you're worried about on a notebook that you have right next to your bed. Write the things that you're worried about or that you're still thinking about in your notebook that's right next to your bed. Why? Because you're telling your mind, we don't have to think about this overnight, right? It's going to be in the notebook, or it's going to be in a book, or it's going to be written down, or it's going to be written or you write it, type it in your phone, and you said it. But it's there. It's not here. And so your mind slows down because it doesn't have to process all the things that you're worrying about. It doesn't have to process the things that you think you're going to forget. So write it down. Often what I do is I'm here where I do the videos right before, while I'm processing the videos and uploading them to YouTube, I actually write down things so I won't forget that I need to do the next day. Again, I'm trying to make sure that my mind is not processing things, because if I can't sleep, a lot of the times it's because I am thinking about what I need to do the next day, or the next week, or what I forgot to do the day of or the day before. It's what ifs. Remember, I talked about those. So what ifs? It's like you're using your mental capacity, which is great, right? You're sharpening your skills. You're using your mental capacity before bedtime. It's easier to just write things down, set them aside. And if for some reason, here's the thing. I know some of you, and I know some of you do, you wake up and you say, oh, I forgot this. There's your notebook right next to your bed. So what you do is if you wake up and you say, I forgot to do this, just write it down. Close it, go back to sleep. And I'm telling you, you're going to go to sleep because now your body and your mind know that it's written down. So the processing doesn't have to take place. It doesn't have to keep it in mind because you won't forget it because it's already written down there. So again, if you wake up and say, oh, I forgot to do this, write it down on your notebook. Set it aside, close it, go back to sleep. Believe me, those easy things can help you reduce or get rid of insomnia. Because, when you don't sleep as well, and then you go to work, you go to school, you go and do chores around the house, or you go and help somebody, you're not at your best. And those are the times where you can get hurt. I mean, not on purpose, but accidentally you can get hurt because you're not focused. Your mind is kind of like not really like working on autopilot, but it's not optimized and you're not thinking clearly. And so you want to make sure that you get enough sleep. You want to make sure that you follow that routine, right? You want to make sure that you write things down so that way your mind can say, I don't have to think about that because it's written down. So now we can sleep. Again, it's that simple, but you know what? It's a habit that we have to build. We have to build a habit. We have to build a habit. See what I said? I said it 3 times because you do have to build a habit. Because you do have to build a routine. Because you do have to set a time to go to sleep. Because you do have to write things down that you're worried about, that you didn't complete. So that way you can continue tomorrow. But you will have a good sleep. So, one of the things that I try to do, believe me, is get enough exercise in the day. If you don't exercise during the day, especially you that work from home, right? If you don't exercise during the day, you will have sometimes pent up energy that you won't be able to sleep. Again, sleep is the key to get yourself going on the next day. Once you sleep, once you rest, your body rests, right? You drink a glass of water before you go to bed, so that way it cycles through your body, and then the next day you'll be able to get up with very, very, very rested body. And I'm telling you, it works, but you have to create a habit. You have to do that. Believe me, look. Water, right? And this is one of the waters, Path water. I'm not advertising. I just bought it when it was on sale, and I kept the water bottles because they're really nice and they keep the water cool. Would you like some water? Do you want some water? No? Okay. So, that was my cat emoji. Another thing that you need to do is avoid late naps. If you're napping, if you go to bed at 8 o'clock, don't nap at 6 because that'll kind of switch your sleeping pattern around. If you go to bed at 11, don't nap at 9 or 10 because again, right? And sometimes we can't help it. Sometimes we work so hard that we're out. But if you're out, right before you're out, if you know that you worked hard all day, then you may want to start your sleep earlier than usual, so that way you can get your rest. Believe me, sometimes I go to sleep earlier than than the normal days, because I know that even if I try to, I'm gonna end up sleeping sitting on the couch. So I know that. So might as well just go through my habits, right? Go through my different things that I do. Drink water, brush my teeth, right? Write things down so I won't forget. So I won't have to be thinking about them during the night, right? And then I go to sleep instead of sitting up and sleeping sitting up. So again, right? Don't take naps too close to bedtime. Sometimes we do because we're so tired. Believe me, when I worked 60 hours a week, I was so tired. Excuse me. I would fall asleep sitting up. I would fall asleep eating. That's bad. That's really bad. Don't eat too late. I'm telling you why. Because that's from experience. If you eat too late, then you're going to start building bad habits. You're going to start building acid reflux. Your belly's going to be processing everything as you're trying to sleep. So you won't get a good sleep because the food needs to process. Again, you won't get good sleep because the food needs to process. So you can't be eating too close to bedtime because you won't have a restful sleep. Believe me, I've done that a few times before. So I want to make sure that you understand that when you eat something right before bed, your stomach will process it until it's done, right? It's not going to leave it there and say, okay, we'll process it tomorrow morning. It's not going to do that. It will process it as you're sleeping. Again, that can create acid reflux. That can create a not so good sleep. So again, avoid doing that. If for some reason you can't sleep, get out of bed. If you get out of bed, maybe walk around a little bit. I don't want you to run or anything. Just walk around a little bit. Make sure, like this. If you sigh or if you yawn, that's your body telling you that, hey, time to go to bed, right? And so, or because you're tired, or because you're bored, and so do that. I mean, walk around a little bit. Get out of bed, because if you stay in bed, you're not going to sleep. You have to change the environment a little bit. And so, because that way, then you'll be able to lay down, get a good night's sleep. So, we've been going through a lot of different things, a lot of different tips about how to reduce insomnia, right? Writing things down, creating a habit. For example, right? Drinking a cup of water, brushing your teeth, right? Listening to soft music, listening to soft sounds, which I have in my YouTube channel, by the way. Laying down, and if you can't sleep, you stand up, you walk around a little bit, and then you yawn, and then you go back to sleep, right? Avoid naps late in the day. So those are some of the things that I've talked about, and I want to make sure that you understand, because you don't want to change your sleeping pattern. If you're not having a healthy, good sleep, then your sleeping patterns are going to change, and you'll be sleeping during the daytime. And again, those are the naps that you're not going to be able to sleep during the nighttime. So it's a vicious cycle that goes through. So again, do the things that you need to do, so that way you can go to sleep and get a good night's rest every night. So, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so you can get notified of any new video that comes on board. Comment section, you can put comments, questions, any topics that you want me to give you the take on. Again, if you want to connect with me in other social media outlets, on Facebook, you can search for me, Carlos Flores Jr., on Instagram and on X. You can type at Back on Basics, and on WhatsApp, you can type at Back on Basics 9985. So again, sleeping is great. I'm actually a little bit tired right now. I did a lot of running today at school. So, till next time, Back on Basics.